Yes. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday afternoon now, 1:30 Central Time, and we got through the UFC weigh-ins today with absolutely no problems. Everybody made weight, even Kayla Harrison, who everybody was worried about how she would look on the scale. I don't think she looked great. She certainly didn't look happy or like she was having a lovely morning, but she made weight. And she's on point and ready to go, as is everybody else that is scheduled to fight. 26 fighters, 13 fights, 26 professionals go out there and make weight for this, the UFC 300 card coming up this Saturday night. Really looking forward to these 13 fights. High-level fighters, high-level fights. This is a very, very difficult week from a gambling perspective because we get a lot of cards that have a lot lower level fighters on them. So as handicappers, we're used to kind of being in a situation where we can say, oh, I know that this fighter's grappling is terrible, or I know that this fighter here that only has 7 pro fights, that their striking is hot ass. And if they don't get the fight to the ground, they're going to be completely screwed. But with this one, with this card, with this level of talent, there's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of, yeah, this one could finish inside the distance with either fighter getting a finish. This one could go to decision, and both fighters have ways to win minutes and moments. So it's a difficult week from a gambling perspective. I think this is a week where you kind of want to lay, you want to find those plus EV spots and just feel good that you're getting your money in good pre-flop, and then let the fights play out like they will, because these are high-level fighters, high-level fights, and there is a massive crowd watching. The world is going to be watching. So a lot at stake. $300,000 bonuses for this card. So, you know, the incentive to go out there and perform at a really high level and try some things that you might not usually try is definitely there this week. So it is going to be a fun one to talk about. It's going to be a fun one to break down. I've already broken down this card so many times this week. We did probability right here on my channel with my guy DFS by the numbers on Wednesday night. I did just the tip on Tuesday night right here. Stat Diggers on Sunday night. We did the DFS show on Pub Sports Radio. I did the panel with Couch Warrior last night. We did props to consider and maybe bet with my guy from the desk of Lou Betcha, who I got to do 2 shows with yesterday. So we've broken down this card a number of times, and I will be breaking it down one more time tonight with the Golden Octagon, 9 o'clock Central Time, I believe, or it might be 9 Eastern. I have to look at my DMs, but either way, one more time, we're going to go through this post weigh-ins, talk about our favorite spots. Let's see what's going on with you people in the chat here. We got Presidente Pedro in the room saying, oi, super pumped for tomorrow after seeing everybody on the scales. Dude, I am pumped as well. We got TH saying, let's stack them high this week. We got Andrew G saying, okay, give it to me. Greasy, Uncle Weezy. Let's go, Andrew. We got my guy Olajuwon Dream in the room saying, oi. And he is saying, has the announcement of 300,000 bonuses changed or altered any of your reads? It's made me a little bit more likely to take violence bets. I'm looking at the fight doesn't start round 3 for Andrade versus Rodriguez. I'm already on a few violence bets here. I do have a fight goes to decision bet for Figueiredo and Garbrandt at plus 150 that I don't like as much now due to these bonuses being multiplied by 6. You know, usually $50,000 bonuses, they're going $300K. This could change even some of these fighters' lives who do get paid more. This is not like an Apex card where somebody's making 10 and 10 and then might get $300,000 bonus, So, and plus, I think that you have to be very careful about how you look at this bonus information, because narrative information, it can be very tricky, and it can be it's very difficult to cap, very difficult to put a number on, right? So just because the bonuses have been multiplied by 6, it doesn't mean that your opponent is going to go away any easier, probably even less likely. And we've got so many high-level fighters on this card. I think it's easy to fall into a trap saying, oh, yeah, everyone's just going to finish now. Well, still, you got to go out there and finish that opponent that's standing across from you, and that is never easy. when it's a bunch of top 5 fighters from each division squaring off in these fights. So, I just want to be very careful about that. I'm trying to concentrate a little bit more on finding statistical edges this week because these fights could play out in so many different ways because we have such high level fighters. We got Josh in the room saying, "Oi, oi, oi, what's up, Josh? Thanks for hanging out, man." We got Chase Nielsen in here saying, "Sup, Uncle Weezy? What's up, Chase? Good to see you hanging out in here." My guy, Papa Chuck, let's go, saying, "Good luck tomorrow, Unc." Oi, 300. Let's go, Chuck. We got Jester saying, "How you doing, Unc? Appreciate you, brother." Imagine the booze for Bo if he gets 300K. I know, man, that would be something, right? We're like, he shouldn't have even been on the card, but he's such a high level prospect that they got him going out there, ready to go. It's going to be fun to see Bo Nickel perform against Cody Brundage here tomorrow night. I can't wait for this card. And Pickle Kush is in the room saying, "Oi, what up, Unc? There's probably Apex cards that have total payroll under 300K." And you might be right about that, man. But that is not going to be the case tomorrow night. So let's get to work here, you guys. I'm going to share my screen with you. And we are going to take you through this parlay on DraftKings Sportsbook. The number that you're going to get on Bet Rivers Sportsbook is going to be even better. However, we do have these boosts this week. So this parlay is going to come in at plus 798 on DraftKings, but with the UFC 300 profit boost, you're going to get basically plus 1,000 on this parlay. And leg number 1 is going to be a leg that I like a lot here. I like violence in this spot. The fight doesn't go to decision, is juiced to the tits, though, around minus 400. But we can get fight doesn't start round 3 at minus 200 for the Turner Moicano fight. And if I take you over here to Uncle Weezy's prop template, which is available on Uncle Weezy's Patreon, we could take a look right here at the minus 200 bet. That is a 66.67% implied probability. It's important to note that this is a lightweight fight, and only 43.5% of lightweight fights finish in rounds 1 or 2. So we're overpaying based on this line when you compare it to the benchmark for the division by about 23%. But it's very important to note, Jalen Turner's fights have finished inside the distance 8 of 11 times, and Moicano 9 of 13 when their fights have been scheduled for 3 rounds. And we've got 17 out of 24, or almost 71% of their fights have finished inside the distance, but 16 of 24 have finished in the first 2 rounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to get Jalen Turner by his best win condition here, and we're going to get Renato Moicano by his best finish condition here, and move this. Instead of paying minus 400 for the fight doesn't go to decision, we're going to take about 13% implied probability off of that and get us down to 66.67 at minus 200 here. That's going to be the first leg of this parlay. Fight does not start round 3 for Turner versus Moicano. So we're going to go up here to round props. And we're going to go to start round X right underneath the round props there. And we're going to scroll down to Jalen Turner. Fight to start round 3. No, minus 200 is leg number 1 of the parlay. Leg number 2, she made weight, ladies and gentlemen. Kayla Harrison made 136 pounds. I think Holly Holm's going to be in a whole heap of trouble here. Kayla's wrestling is really good. Her judo is phenomenal. And when she gets fights to the ground, she's extremely busy. She's extremely violent. She can get submissions, obviously being a 2-time judo gold medal winner in the Olympics. And she's got vicious ground and pound against much bigger, stronger ladies that we've seen her fight on the regional scene at 145 and 155 pounds. So Holly Holm's striking hasn't been as good as it was when she first came into the UFC. She's definitely turned a lot more into a mixed martial artist and utilized her grappling game a lot more. But her grappling game isn't going to do her any good here unless she can just flat out stop the takedown attempts of Kayla Harrison and keep this fight at distance striking range, use that big cage, and figure out a way to win a decision here against Kayla. But now that Kayla made weight, I think that her ability to be able to go out there and get those takedowns is going to be, I think she's going to be getting these takedowns. Her wrestling is so good. Her judo is even better. And Holly, I think, is just going to be a little bit overmatched here, especially when this fight gets to the grappling situations. So, and plus, Kayla's just much younger too. These two ladies are at two completely different spots in their careers. We've seen Holly get submitted a couple of times by Miesha Tate in the 5th round of their title fight, most recently by Mayra Bueno Silva in the 2nd round of that fight. And now we got Kayla Harrison out here looking to make her mark as a UFC champion in the bantamweight division. I think that Kayla goes out there, makes this look easy, gets the job done inside the distance. Plus 120 for Kayla Harrison inside the distance is going to be leg number 2 of this parlay. So we're going to go up here to winning method. And if we go to winning method, we want to go to method of victory double chance right below that. And we're going to scroll down here to Kayla Harrison to win by KO or submission at plus 120. Brings this 2-leg parlay up to plus 230. Leg number 3 is going to be Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. Yuri Prohaska, the money line, minus 110. I think he's going to go out there and get the job done against Rakic. This is a damage over control scoring system that we're working within. Yuri has an amazing ability to get back up when he does get taken down. If he gets a reverse, his ground and pound when he gets on top of his opponent is phenomenal. And just at distance striking range, while he is very hittable, he's also very durable, and he's very, very powerful and unorthodox and unpredictable. This guy has, that whoa factor when he lands big shots. I think Yuri is the much more exciting fighter, the much more marketable fighter. This is UFC 300, and I think that they're giving him a showcase spot against a fighter who has really bored the crowd in his most recent performances, coming off a serious knee injury and a long, almost 2-year layoff for Alexander Rakic. I think Prohaska is going to go out there and win impressively and make it yet another on the winning streak of Uncle Weezy's ass shavings of the week here. We're going with the Yuri Prohaska money line at minus 110. We're going to go up here to fight lines. Scroll down to Yuri Prohaska at minus 110. That brings our parlay up to plus 530 for 3 legs. And as always, we want to hedge out on a fat leg at the end. If you want to put Weili Zhang as the last leg of this parlay, you have your Uncle Weezy's blessing. I think she's going to shave some ass. But what I'm going to do here is give you the under 3.5 rounds in the Pereira versus Hill main event. Both of these guys are poor defensively at distance striking range. I see Hill keep that right hand down a lot, which means that Pereira might be able to land that big left hook. He can also land leg kicks that can actually get Hill. Hill has not dealt well with leg kicks thus far in the UFC. In particular, in the Ovin St. Preux fight, we just saw him really struggle with that technique. But I think somebody's going to get served here. I think that this is going to be a very violent fight. Both of these guys have got tons of power. Both of these guys are very poor defensively, and I think that Pereira in particular is a little bit chinny. So I think Jamal Hill's live for a knockout. Pereira, if he lands that left hook clean on anyone, it doesn't really matter how durable you are. You're going down, and that fight's going to end. So we're going to finish up with the under 3.5 rounds for the main event. So we're up here at fight lines. We're going to go to alternative total rounds, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom here where we have Pereira versus Hill. We're going to click on 3.5, the under 3.5 rounds at minus 235 brings this parlay up to plus 798. If you go over here to Bet Rivers Sportsbook, this parlay is actually plus 823, as you can see right there. I think it's because Kayla Harrison's plus 138 instead of plus 120, getting a much better price there on Kayla inside the distance, while all the other lines are not actually as good as the last one, like 235 for the under 3.5. It's minus 275 here, minus 205 instead of minus 200. Yuri's minus 112 instead of minus 110, but you get the much better price on Kayla inside the distance is plus 823. But DraftKings also has a boost. So it will be 25% profit boost for this one because it's 4 legs. That'll bring you up to plus 1,000 for this parlay. So we're getting extra greasy this week. Leg number 1, fight doesn't start round 3. Turner versus Moicano at minus 200. Leg number 2, Kayla Harrison inside the distance at plus 120. Leg number 3, Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. Yuri Prohaska's money line at minus 110. Leg number 4, under 3.5 rounds in the main event, Pereira versus Hill, minus 235. That comes out to plus 798 on DraftKings Sportsbook and plus 823 on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Let's cash this one because we got a week off next week. We can take a week off. We can evaluate our year so far, figure out what we've been doing well, what we need work on, and make some decisions going forward about how we're going to alter our betting plan. But right now, we got to cash this one this week so that we can truly enjoy the week off. What's going on with you guys in the chat here? We've got Joe Banavicius in the room saying, let's go, Weezy. Let's do it, Joe. We got Andrew G saying, UFC been robbing me a lot this year. Of course, they have an extra $300,000 bonus. Yes, that is for sure. The Golden Octagon, who I will be doing a show with tonight, saying, oi, yes, grab your bag of oranges and let's get greasy. Let's do it. We got Pruduman Singh in the room saying, hey, just curious, are you a programmer? Your Excel skills are next level. Thank you for these amazing breakdowns. No, I have no programming experience whatsoever, but it's amazing now. The ability to be able to teach yourself complicated topics is just out there and available. Everywhere you look on YouTube or on Google, you can find instructional ways to help you code somewhat complicated stuff. And I've been just teaching myself. So I was never a programmer. I have no idea how to program at a high level at all, but I've kind of grinded it out and learned how to do it in Excel so that I could create these products that I make available to you guys on Patreon so that we can all make better betting decisions together. So I appreciate the compliment on that, Prudamon. And I'm still working on this new product. Like, let me show you guys. Like, this is the Figueiredo Garbrandt fight. And let me get this off the screen here. I've created these sheets, that do betting templates so that we can find, just like on the prop template where we have 3 comparison lines. We can do this now with inside the distance, KO, submission, decision, unanimous decision, split and majority decision bets for both fighters just by making the put the money line into the sheet. That gives you an implied probability for both fighters. And then you could take these divisional benchmarks. You could adjust them by each fighter's win percentage and then determine whether the price of the betting lines are overpriced, underpriced, or on par with the fighter's prior performance in how they win fights. So like in Figueiredo's case here, it shows, if I highlight this, 66.67% of his win condition is inside the distance, and 33% of it is by decision. And that's because Figueiredo's 4 of 7 wins or finishes, and Garbrandt 2 of 2 losses are finishes, as you can see right there. So that comes out to 6 of 9 or 66.67%. 3 of 9 is what we come up with here on decision. So that's 33%. And then now we can compare those prop bets with the prior performance of each fighter to determine whether, there's some value in the props. And then we also know that we've got significant strike props here, where I can give you a bunch of information based on significant strikes to determine whether you're overpaying or underpaying for underdog, Bet Online, Bet Rivers, Bet 365, Prize Picks. They've all got significant strike props, takedown props, fantasy score props for underdog, for Prize Picks, for just DFS in general. We can take a look at all this stuff for both fighters and look into it. And this has been a massive coding job for me. But it's going to be available soon. on Patreon and on Dub Club. And then there's going to be a content package that goes along with it that helps you kind of make use of the analytics that I have available to me so that we can find these spots that stick out, these mispriced lines, and make really good plus EV bets. But yeah, I've got a lot of work to do ahead of me, and having a week off here is going to be huge in order to achieve that objective. So, but I appreciate that comment, Prudamon. That means a lot, man. And we've got Cuban Assassin saying, Weezy, Weezy, Weezy. Good luck tomorrow, brother. Appreciate you, Cuban Assassin. Let's get it, man. We got Andrew G saying, holy too old. Ha ha ha. Jerry is a crazy motherfucker. That is for sure, man. I love that dude. He is so much fun to watch fight. Nasty Bertrude's got Rakic winning. Yeah, he's the favorite in the fight. You know, he has been all week, but steadily that money's been coming in on Jiri all week, and now it's more of a pick'em than it is where you could have got Jiri at plus 110, 115 earlier this week and last week. So a lot of people do have Rakic winning. A lot of sharp people have Rakic winning. We'll see how that fight plays out. It's a hard week to pick fights because no matter who you pick to win, you're picking against an elite fighter. Jiri going to bust these parlays. Rakic got this. Jiri gets wobbly in pretty much all of his UFC fights. Yeah, that is true. He does get hit a lot, but he's got great recoverability. And we haven't seen Rakic against a dynamic striker. You know, the last couple of wins, you know, Jan Blachowicz is definitely very old. Thiago Santos completely washed, you know, and he kind of looked slow and, you know, not impressive in those fights. I think Jiri is going to have a lot more for him. I like Max Moneyline over Jiri's. Then you could put that one in there. You know, this is just my greasy 4-leg parlay, but you can switch it up however you like, Nasty Bertrude. We got Presidente Pedro saying flapjack season. Let's go, man. We got Jester saying any fighters you think retire Saturday? Miller, Holly. Yeah, I think either one of them could retire. I think we could even see Aljo retire. I don't know how much he seems to care anymore. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. Benino saying my greasy 2-legger. Sadiq points, Armin 2-3 plus 1825 for round 2. Wow. Yeah, that's nasty. That would be a fun one to hit. Brandon saying, oi, Weezy, been listening and working. Great content as always. Appreciate you, Brandon. Thanks for hanging out, man. We got James saying, you think with that bonus money now at 300, this changes things? Not really. I think everybody's going to be fighting at the same level that they were going to fight before they knew about the bonuses. We got Brandon saying, I put in a bet months ago on Garbrandt and been thinking of letting it ride, but I haven't heard much of any positivity for that bet. Should I cash out and lose 1/5 of the wager and place it elsewhere? Yeah, I don't think so, dude. I think you should ride with it. I think it's going to be a close fight. Both of these guys are low volume. They're both accurate. They're both powerful. They're both fast. It's just that, you know, Cody's the younger guy here, you know. Davison's 36 years old. So I think that I think that the big plus money on Cody is something you can let ride. We got Benino saying, I hope it causes Moicano to fall in love with the box again. I don't think it will, man. I don't think he's going to fall in love with the box standing across from a monster like Jalen Turner, who's like 5 inches taller than him and like has like this 6-inch reach advantage or whatever it is, man. It's crazy, dude. It's about fuck work o'clock. Let's make some gambles. Oh, he says Juicy Q. Let's get it, man. We got my guy Sean B is in the room. He wants me to run for president in 2024. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna leave it to the politicians this time. You know, too many skeletons in the closet. But I appreciate you, Sean. Thanks for hanging out, man. Nasty saying Cody has a good chance to win. He should throw the more volume. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. They both are kind of low volume, but I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I've got fight goes to decision at plus 150 there. I'm hoping that one cruises the full 15 and we start off up 1.5 units there. Brandon, appreciate it. Appreciate you, brother. James S. saying, let it ride. Appreciate you guys. 45 of you live hanging out in here. The parlay today, again, is fight doesn't start round 3 for Turner Moicano. Kayla Harrison inside the distance at plus 120. We got Yuri Prohaska's money line at minus 110. And we've got the under 3.5 rounds for Pereira Hill at minus 235. That comes out to 798 on DraftKings, 823 on Bet Rivers. Let's cash it. Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC 300. Enjoy the fights. Let's all make some money betting on them. Check me out on the Golden Octagon show this evening, about 9 o'clock Central Time, and then enjoy these fights tomorrow. I'll be on Brady's Best Bet show tomorrow, a couple hours before the first fight, and I wish you all luck. God bless each and every one of you, and we will enjoy that week off and come back for a bit of a dumpster fire of a card compared to this UFC 300 card. But enjoy the week off, everybody. Enjoy the fights, and we will see you soon. Take care, everybody.